It's Fancy Nancy Day! We're gonna read the story!
Fancy, who's unique, one of a kind, who adores Mom, Dad, and JoJo, and friends who are sublime. Fancy makes my heart sing, Fancy feels like glee. Fancy is for everyone, but most especially me. Fancy Nancy. Fancy Nancy. Oh la la. Turn plain into exquisite. Make blase something chic. Just add a little fancy. And voila, life's fantastic. That's French for fantastic.
All right, boys and girls, it's Fancy Nancy Day. I have my crown on. I have my princess wand. I have a big bow. I have lights and necklace on and my fancy skirt. So, boys and girls, it's so exciting to have Fancy Nancy Day today. Are you excited? I'm very excited. I'm going to read you a story called Fancy Nancy. We are going to learn some big words, fancy words. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready, though? I think I'm so excited. I'm going to have to put down my princess wand because I have to hold the book. And the book is called Fancy Nancy. Do you see how she's fancy? She has a plume, that's a fancy word for feather duster. She has on her tablecloth. Yes, we talked about that last week. She's wearing a tablecloth. I'm also wearing a skirt that's a tablecloth. She has an umbrella right here. Yes, or you can call it a parasol. Very fancy word. She's wearing her glasses. I have my glasses on. She's wearing a tiara. I have my tiara on. Boys and girls, I can't wait to see how you're going to be fancy at our Zoom class on Friday. I'm so excited. But for now, let's read our Fancy Nancy book. Are you ready? Fancy Nancy. Let's see what happens in her story. Oh, she's looking fancy. Yes, she is. Says, I love being fancy. Do you see that her room is even fancy? I see that too. My favorite color is fuchsia. That's a fancy way of saying purple. I like to write my name with a pen that has a plume. That's a fancy way of saying feather. And I can't wait to learn French because anything in French is fancy. Nobody in my family is fancy at all. They never even ask for sprinkles on their ice cream. Can you believe it? Sprinkles make everything fancy. There's a lot they just don't understand. Lace trim socks do help me play soccer better. Sandwiches definitely taste better when you stick in a frilly toothpick. A princess is supposed to keep her tiara on. I know, I should wear mine all day, every day. What's a fancy girl to do? I asked my doll, Marabella. Her full name is Marabella Lavinia Chandelier. A very fancy name. Then I get an idea that is stupendous. That's a fancy word for great. Maybe I can teach my family how to be fancy. I can make an ad and stick it on the refrigerator. Do you see her ad right there? Do you know what it says? It says, learn to be fancy with lessons from Nancy. Easy, fun, and even free. That's even better. Soon there's a knock on my door. Knock, knock. My family saw the ad and they want to get started right away. Look, here's some fancy words that she's teaching them. So the plain old words are here and the fancy words are over here. So the plain word says yellow, but the fancy word is gold. Can you say that with me? Gold. Yes. Now, plain word, leather, but a fancy word for that is patent leather. Can you say it with me? Patent leather. Now, a plain word, glasses, and then a fancy word, sunglasses. Can you say it with me? Sunglasses, yes. Oh, she is teaching them how to be fancy. Says, the trouble is, my family doesn't own any fancy clothes. Hmm, that's okay. I go find, what is that fancy word? Oh, yes, some accessories. Boys and girls, accessories are like necklaces, a tiara, a bow tie, or maybe a crown. She just finds things all around her house, and that's what I want you to do. Ooh la la, my family is posh. That's a fancy word for fancy. Can you say posh? Posh, yes. My mom twirls in front of the mirror. Why don't we go somewhere fancy tonight? How about dinner at the King's Crown? My dad suggests. Wow, my parents are acting fancier already. May I escort you lovely ladies outside? Her dad said. Look, he's wearing a scarf, a hat to be fancy. The limousine is waiting. My dad is our chauffeur. That's a fancy word for driver. When we arrive at the King's Crown, everyone looks up. They probably think we're movie stars. I have lights on. Do I look like a movie star? I sure feel fancy. I'm so proud of my whole family. They eat with their pinkies up and call each other darling. Darling. What are they eating, boys and girls? Yes, it's pizza. They're eating pizza. Yes. For dessert, let's have parfaits, my mom says. That's French for ice cream sundaes. Amazing. My mother even knows French. Wow. When our parfaits are ready, I curtsy and say merci. I carry the tray like a fancy waiter. Oops, I trip, I slip. The tray does a double flip. Oh my goodness, a double flip? Yikes. I don't feel fancy anymore. I want to go home. How is Nancy feeling right now? Yes, sad. She's feeling very sad, maybe even a little disappointed because she wanted to eat the parfaits. So she might be feeling a little disappointed that they fell on the floor. After I get all cleaned up, I put on my dressing gown. Those are fancy words for a bathrobe. I feel much better and I'm ready for a parfait. I tell my parents, thank you for being fancy tonight. I love you, my dad says. I love you, my mom says. And all I say back is I love you. Because there isn't a fancy or better way of saying that. So, boys and girls, this was our Fancy Nancy book. Guess what? On Friday in our Zoom class, we are going to be fancy during our class. I'm so excited. But I also want you to remember, Fancy Nancy finds her fancy things all around her house. She doesn't go to a store to find anything. She looks around her house to see what she has to be fancy. So, boys and girls, I'll see you on Friday, but don't forget, look for your fancy things around your house and have a fabulous day.